I want to give you a tour, like a detailed tour of the outside of this machine. It's not just about the what's on this machine, but it's about why we like it and why we think it's the best machine for van camping in Alaska. Come with me. The front of this vehicle is built with this very heavy-duty bumper made by a company called LMAk. One of the reasons we have this big bumper is, imagine you're cruising down a dark, slick highway and this giant creature steps out on the road. It's 1,500 pounds, it's 8 feet tall, it's a moose. And this thing here protects everything back here from that moose. If you have to hit that moose, which happens a lot, I will show you pictures. I found some the other day of when my wife hit a moose in her truck a few years back and it absolutely totaled her truck. She survived, but it was very scary. The four-wheel drive system is made by a company called Quigley at quigley4x4.com. And it's a very high quality, very reputable system. Sportsmobile has been around for several decades. I have a lot of confidence in the build of this machine. These forward locking hubs are interesting. This is like an old style from a long time ago where you manually lock the hubs in and out and then you shift inside. We have studded tires. These little metal studs right there are very, very helpful for winter traction. They put a 6-inch lift on this thing and they put Fox 2.0 shocks and these heavy duty coil springs, and it rides like a sports car. This is how we connect the van to shore power. If we are ever in a campground or at home, we want to charge our batteries. That's how this works here. It's a 30-amp plug. This helper spring back here from a company called Super Springs. And what that does is, this vehicle is so heavy, it was sagging in the back like this. And what this spring does is, it helps the spring that's already there and it lifts up the back of the van. This is how we fill up our interior water tanks when we do use the van in the summer. This LMAk system is really nice because as a push of a button, you can open this up. And we really like that. This hatch that's on this bumper is hollow, and that means we can put things in here. So right now what we've done is how we installed our 2-gallon diesel heater tank in this LMAk bumper. That's where the heater tank is. When I need to put diesel in the tank, all I do is I pop this hatch and I can fill it and then close the tank and then close it all up. This is a box from a company called Owl Vans, and they make some very, very high quality stuff, American made. I really like to have a generator. This is an Onan 2800 gasoline powered generator. It gets gasoline straight from the main tank on this van. This is where we dump our wastewater. This is our... One of the things I love about this van is this wall right behind me. We bought some snaps at a local hardware store and we put the snaps onto this blanket. This is an insulated blanket, and we screwed the snaps into the walls. And so this will come in and out. Behind that red wall is our driver's compartment, and it's nothing but windows. And what happens is those windows are not insulated and a lot of cold air comes through those windows, and it makes things very difficult to heat up back here. And we don't need that in the middle of the night when we're trying to rest back here. Behind this door here is our bathroom, which, to be fair, we almost never use. It's pretty small in there. I'm over 6 foot tall and 220 pounds. So it's a bit cramped for me to shower in here. Besides, it's a bit rare to have an RV toilet like this. This comes from the marine industry. We use it in the summertime when we're at a campground where we have a place to dump black water from the toilet. Otherwise, I'm sitting on what we prefer to use mostly. What we prefer to use is this here. It's called the luggable loo.
Non-luxury.
I know, and it's a bit funny, isn't it? But this is what we like. It comes with these heavy-duty trash bags and some stuff in the bottom of there. It looks like cat litter. And what happens is we use the toilet as we want. We can dump more cat litter in there if we need it, and then we just dump it. These are double layer window pane, window shades here. You have the first layer that blocks out, shades most of the light. This second layer is quite insulating. And I haven't found the need yet to put in heavy duty insulators here because these work really well. And even after 12, 13 years this van's age, these are holding up quite nicely. The van comes with a small sink, which we only use in summer, once again, hot and cold water. But we prefer to use this. This is Sea to Summit kitchen sink. It's basically a bucket, a folding bucket. And I use this more than anything else in this van year round. The van has an electric cooktop right here. We rarely cook inside this van because the smell and the odor of constantly cooking in here will permeate all this cloth. And so we almost never cook in here. We prepare meals, or we use freeze-dried meals, or we just eat out. So we use this from time to time, but I'll show you what we use more often, and that's this right here. This is an electric tea kettle, and we use this to make things like tea or freeze-dried meals when we need hot water. How do we keep water in here in the winter? Nothing fancy about that. It's just jugged water, folks. That's how it's done. Lights all over this van, and I really like how well it's lit up for the winter. I appreciate that very much. Quite a bit of storage space. We usually use paper plates, paper bowls, paper napkins, and cups. It's just easier that way. It's a lot easier to clean up with paper than it is if we have to wash dishes in this thing. And we're on vacation, the last thing you want to do is have to wash dishes. And this is where we sit in the evenings and watch TV, relax, talk, visit, have a cup of tea. One of the secrets for couples staying in a small space like this is one of you moves around at a time. These are very narrow aisles, and it's just inconvenient, and it gets very frustrating when we're constantly bumping into each other. So essentially, I love when she sits back here and I can make dinner, and I enjoy serving her dinner, and then vice versa. So we put red bulbs in these back lights, so when everything is dark in here and we just want a little light to be able to see something in the middle of the night, we put these red because we don't need more. This is the main fuse for all the power for the batteries for the back of this system. If you switch this off, everything will go dark in here. When we put this van in storage mode, when we're done, like after this adventure, I will just walk back here and switch that off, and everything goes dark in here, and it preserves what's left of the battery power for our next adventure. One of the things that I'm really excited about and really proud of is the Espar heater. It's diesel burning heater. The fuel tank is in the back of the van. The heat comes out right there. Check this out. I'll show you where the Espar heater lives in this cabinet. So we built the cabinet back like this, but all we've got to do is remove that. And here is our Espar heater installed down here.
I haven't seen that yet.
Yeah. So the cabinet goes back in place. One of the rare things on a camper van of this side is the Cummins Onan 2800 gasoline powered generator. It's running right now because we're charging our batteries. This is how we control all of our battery systems right here. Up here we have more storage. So we keep a pot and pan set. This is stainless steel, so it works with this induction cooktop. We have a s'mores kit.
Yep. Gotta have s'mores kit.
And up here is where we keep some of the food. We keep an assortment of these, which is considered to be much more healthy than the main foods. This is made by Good to Go. We keep an assortment of these because as opposed to cooking big meals in here that stinks up the place, and it's just a lot of work, I'd rather spend my days outside having fun as opposed to, you know, pretending like I'm at home. So Dawn is going to show you how we set up the sleeping bed for when it's time to get some sleep at night. It's a very simple system, right? Nothing fancy there, just a couple of clips. That just lifts and folds.
Oh. Yep.
That is one of the quickest convertible bed systems I've ever seen in a van. Aside of having just a bed back there, you've got a place to sit, but that's about as easy and as efficient as it gets, and I really like it. One of the issues we have with sleeping back here that we don't like. So one of the problems is we sleep like this. And when it's time to use the bathroom in the middle of the night, she has to climb over me, and that's inconvenient for her and for me. We make do and we manage. One of the problems I have is this bed is a bit short for my long head. So as you can see, my head is tucked into this cubby here, and my feet are in that cubby, and I cannot stretch all the way out. If I put a pillow behind my head, I'm like this. And I'm just a little bit too long for sleeping this way.
One of the very few times that I'm okay with being short. I can fit back here either way.
So when it's time for breakfast in the morning or it's time for dinner right now, we've been relaxing for a while. We want to put the bed back in a seating position where we can have a little dining table area to eat. These containers collapse when not in use. Every inch of space in a camper van is so very valuable. So I love these containers. We have pre-cooked vegetables, moose roast with gravy, and rice. So one of the valuable things is having something that collapses like that. The lid can go back on, and we can store this in the refrigerator until we get home and wash it when we get home. I think dinner's ready. It smells amazing. We're going to sit and eat, and we're so glad you were able to join us on this adventure. And we've got another adventure coming very soon with Living My Alaska.